On today's episode of the Everyday Entrepreneur Show, I am able to interview Jason and Ashley, the owners and founders of Holy Grounds Coffee. They are a locally located coffee shop here in Eagle Mountain, Utah, that is doing super cool stuff with their coffee flavors, their brand, and the community they're building around them. I was able to talk to them about their experience of building the shop, how they got started, how they jumped into it, and where they're headed with their company. I also was able to find out their favorite flavors and the stuff they love about being business owners and the entrepreneurial life. And so in this episode, I'll be diving into what it takes to be a business owner, what their business is made of, and how they have got to where they are today. And at the very end, we're doing something special to give back to the community. So make sure you listen to this entire episode. Thanks for joining us on the Everyday Entrepreneur Show. Welcome to the Everyday Entrepreneur Show. My name is Cameron Ure, a real estate agent, investor, and entrepreneur. This podcast is for the everyday person all the way to the CEO wanting to build, grow, or scale their business to the next level. Our goal is to educate, network, and motivate so all of us can become everyday entrepreneurs. Welcome, guys. Super excited to have you out. Thank you for joining me on the Everyday Entrepreneur Show. We have Jason and Ashley with Holy Grounds Coffee. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, I'm super excited to hear about your story, and that's going to be one of my first questions is just tell me your background, kind of introduce yourself, give me the rundown on who you guys are and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, well, I'm the talkative one. Really, background-wise, we don't really have a background in coffee. Neither one of us are trained baristas or anything. And so we kind of have just a passion for it, more connoisseurs than anything. And we just decided one day that coffee was an adventure we were going to jump on. But I was initially studying, going to school, getting a science degree, has nothing to do with, with what we're doing now. And Ashley was she went to hair school and stuff like that, decided that wasn't really a path she wanted to take. After having some kids, she switched to being a stay-at-home mom for a while, and I worked operations for a company, and eventually just kind of puttered around the idea of a coffee trailer, and one day pulled the trigger.
Wow. Okay, so fill me in on that. You liked the idea of a coffee trailer, and you obviously had a passion around it. You guys are coffee connoisseurs, and so was it a planned execution of the business, or was it just off the whim? We're doing this, let's rock and roll. How did it work?
We kind of started off with some friends of ours that wanted to start their own business, but they wanted to open up a soda shop, and they wanted us to join in with them, but we weren't very passionate about soda.
Don't really like it.
Don't drink it really ever. So we thought, well, we like coffee. Wouldn't that be fun to do our own, open our own little coffee trailer? And it just kind of took off from that.
Yeah, it was a conversation that we had more on just long drives. We're like, man, wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. And one day we really start thinking into it seriously. And we're like, golly, maybe we should just look and just see what it costs, just for the fun of it. Let's see what it costs. And one night I was actually just scrolling through, I think it was Facebook Marketplace or KSL or something like that, and I was looking up trailers that we could convert. And I found one that was just a smoking deal, and we're like, do we just try it? Let's try it. Let's buy it. And we literally bought it on a whim. And before you know it, we were sweating bullets and doing everything we could. We're not any kind of carpenters or anything like that, but realizing we didn't have the money to put in to pay somebody to build it all out. We just kind of threw ourselves into it, learned on the fly, and it's been an adventure. It's been a lot of fun. But to answer, it's mostly shoot from the hip.
That's amazing. So you obviously thought of the idea, were passionate about it, excited about it, bought the trailer off of a whim, and now you're 7 months in. You built it all yourself. This is wild. So in the last 7 months, what has your experience been like? What has been the challenges or mistakes or things you've learned from?
Well, challenges, I'd say our biggest challenge that we've run into is really just finding a consistent place to be.
Yeah.
Eagle Mountain it's kind of rough because one, there's not a lot of available properties that are just there for, like a food truck to go park. And then secondly, when you do find those properties, a lot of the time there's either a coffee shop or we ran into issues with having a gas station there where they sell coffee. And so they didn't want us anywhere near property. And so really locking in a place where we could be consistent was the biggest struggle right off the bat. There was a kind of a David Goliath type thing happening with us where anytime we found a place that was semi-consistent, we'd start building a little bit of reputation, building up some clientele, and we'd have a store manager, like a local grocery store manager, come out and say, hey, you guys can't be here. Like, we know you've been here for a while. We talked to property management like a week ago. We need you guys gone. And so, it's happened sadly on multiple occasions. And finally, we were lucky enough to meet Jamie, who owns Gotta Dance. I don't know if you've met her. I'm someone that's worth bringing on your podcast too. She's an awesome local businesswoman and someone who's, supports local businesses. And so when she heard we were kind of, wounded bird trying to fly, she gave us a spot to go and really kind of made some space for us more than anything. She didn't really necessarily have extra. She just kind of made it. So
that's awesome. So now you're Eagle Mountain City Center by Gotta Dance. That's where you guys are permanently, well, quote unquote, permanently majority of your time located. For those looking for a good cup of joe or whatever else you serve, fill me in on that. What do you offer currently on your menu and kind of your creative aspect of building out your business and your flavors and such?
That's her.
There we go. Yep.
Creative. So I tell everybody she comes up with everything. I just work here. And
cool.
So I'll let her take that one.
Well, I wanted to make sure that we had something for everybody, and I'm a big foodie person and flavor. I just always had such a hard time finding good flavored coffee without it. It's hard to find good coffee and good flavor at the same time. You either get just too much of one or not enough of another. So
not a lot of balance there.
Yeah. So that was our main goal, is everything needs to be balanced. But I know some people have a good sweet tooth, so I wanted to make sure we cater to those that have a bit of a sweet tooth and those that like coffee stronger, cater to them as well. And we started playing around with Monster energy drinks and lemonades. Kind of played a little bit with some teas. Not really big tea drinkers. So that one's been my struggle a little bit.
Recently, we just started launching a specialty hot chocolate menu as well.
Oh, insiders.
Oh, cool.
And insiders. So we're really trying to find something for everybody.
Nice.
I'd say creativity. She's never going to brag about herself. I'm going to brag for her a little bit. She comes up, and our regulars can attest to this. She comes up with a new menu, I swear, almost weekly.
Cool.
We have we call them our holy standards. That's just our main menu drink items. But then we always have either a themed week going or a themed month or a themed season. So right now we've got both a fall menu that's running as well as just a specific to November, kind of leaning more towards Thanksgiving type flavors and stuff. And so she's got a creative mind that she'll build a new menu, I swear, like I said, weekly. And that's been a lot of fun for both of us to watch, mostly for me to watch, fun for her to do. She's got the real gift and talent with that. And so I think that's what's kind of been our hook locally is we do have a little bit more of those unique flavors. Some stuff that you read and you're like, that doesn't sound like it would even remotely work. You taste it and it's like, okay, trust the process, trust the crazy lady in the truck, what she's doing.
That's awesome.
So that's been fun.
Cool. So, I mean, there's the exciting, enjoyable side of building the business, being creative. There's obviously the struggle of building out your trailer, finding a location and stuff like that, what has been the driving factor for you guys when it has been hard or when your location got shut down? What has kept you going to get to the point where you're at today, where you're enjoying it, you're building a clientele base, and you're kind of growing your company?
I mean, it might be different for both of us on as far as what the drive factor is, but
well, seeing all the support, and anytime something would go wrong or we'd get booted out of a spot, we got so much support from everyone in Eagle Mountain that has either tried us or have just known us for a little while. They've been searching for places for us to go when we had nowhere to go, or when our generator would die, someone's always trying to offer theirs. Like, there's just so much support here, and we want to be able to keep going for them.
Yeah, kind of reciprocate that and try and be that local joint that's made for locals, and that's one of the real big bases around everything that we do. We do hear it a lot, which I love hearing, is our prices are way lower. I mean, they're lower than Starbucks, they're lower than all the other big chains and local shops around here, because we like to say it's because we're a local family-owned company that is trying to provide a service for local families. We understand that where we live, we're in the same income margin as the majority of the people around us. We know that means that a $10 cup of coffee is a pretty ridiculous price to ask, so you want to cater to those locally. But this local support has been definitely a big driving factor. I'd say for me, it's something I learned to be passionate about along the way. I wasn't initially. I loved coffee, and like I said, we loved going and trying places. But for me, it was, I stepped into something that I didn't realize I had a passion for until I started doing it. Coffee really in reality was more her passion than it was mine, until when we opened the shop early morning time. It was a lot better for her to be home to get the girls, our daughters and stuff, ready for school or meeting with babysitter or whatever. And so that would lead me to open up the trailer, and I'd open up, get things running, and then I'd still be working a day job afterwards. And but in that process, opening up and kind of getting to be part of everybody's routine in the morning, and kind of building that local base with that, I grew passionate, realizing, like, okay, this is what people mean when they say, like, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And it's something that, like, now I'm like, I get it, I totally understand. Because we love it. We love what we're doing, and that passion alone is like that's enough drive for me to keep going. Try and grow and stick with it.
Yeah, you've fallen in love with the operations and the business side of things, and honestly making those friends that you get to meet on a daily basis, which is fantastic. I mean, that's all about business in general, is making those connections to really be able to give back to the community and help those around you to have a perfect start to their day, or whatever it may be. Whenever those people roll through you, that you can still light their day up with your product and your offering and such. And so you touched on something I want to hit on. You obviously, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't jump headfirst into this with no other career behind you or a side job or anything like that. You did keep a career until you fully transitioned to full-time, correct? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'd been working operations it was actually a friend of mine, this company. I was working for them for a few years, and towards the end, I really lacked drive there and kind of lacked that passion. And so I was looking for something that was going to be a little bit more uplifting on the side, and this wasn't actually planned for me to be a full-time thing. And we're just now officially full-time with it this month, which it sounds exciting. It's a big risk, because right now it's not quite clearing that to justify, but I'm like, the more time we can dedicate to it, then we can see it getting there. We can see that being a reality for us. And so there's probably going to be a couple tough months ahead of us, but I mean, we'll be able to pull through, I think, with more time dove in. But I mean, I worked the other job for a while, and it just, wasn't one of those things that you woke up and was just dying to get to in the middle of the day. It was one that was there out of convenience. It was nice to work with a friend, but and I had a pretty reasonable schedule, which was actually one of the reasons I was able to even start doing the coffee stuff on the side as well, is because they were willing to work with that quite a bit. And so there's a lot that I can be thankful for from working that other job, but it's also one of those things where it's like, when I see where I am now and kind of my level of enjoyment, it's a whole different ballgame where, we're into this, and I get that social aspect that I love. I'm a very social person. A lot of our customers probably get tired of hearing me. I'll talk their ear off when they're really just trying to leave, and nudging like, hey, let them go. So
yeah.
That's I get my satisfaction out of that, and being part of people's routines. And yeah, it was an awesome jump to be able to stretch away from that and kind of venture off onto our own.
So a lot of my background is similar. I jumped into real estate from a career that was awesome. I was having a great time doing it, but wanted to explore something different, and it was horrifying. I mean, genuinely, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, And I'm sure you're having similar feelings right now of like, we're going to go all out on this, but we're sweating a little bit. It's scary. And so what I wanted to ask is, for those that are currently in that position, that are working that 9 to 5 or waking up every day not being fully fulfilled by their current career, what would you tell those people that you've experienced to take that jump, to pursue their passions and try to start something that they love?
I feel like I'm doing all the talking, but I'm like really talking. I mean, for me, I would say do what you can to find a mentor in the field. That's what we did, and some really good advice that came from a mentor that we have is you're going to have terrible days. Everything's going to go wrong. Everything's going to suck. You're going to lose money on that day, and things are going to get bad. But when they do, the most important move to do is to keep moving forward and to keep that passion alive, whether it's, just finding something to benefit at the end of the day, something that you can make go right just by forcibly making go right to finish off the day right. However, just keep that passion alive and keep it going. And, it'll pay off in the long run. And so, we experienced that full tilt very much so. I mean, we had a few days where there's been customers that have seen me at my worst, where I had to step out of the trailer. I'm like, okay, I got to leave for a second because the machine's running hectic on us and we're not getting good shots. We're not getting, it's kind of bullying us is what it feels like with that espresso machine every once in a while. But on those days, it was just kind of a click back and reminder of what he said. It's like, yep, this is going to be those days, and it's how you kind of recover from those days is going to define what kind of a business owner you're going to be, and it's going to define how passionate you really are in what you're doing. And so, we've experienced a lot of it, and I mean, that's the advice that I would give is see through those rough times, be okay to fail for a little bit, and
find a mentor. Help you through it,
and then just keep going, keep moving forward.
All right. So when you say find a mentor, obviously that's crucial because you can learn from their mistakes. You can fall forward and be able to get back up and survive, because a lot of people feel like they will succeed quicker going on their own rather than pairing up with somebody and going a little bit slower. But it's a lot better to go slower and further than faster and not very far. And so you guys are proof of that. You found somebody. And so when it comes to finding a mentor in your space, and for those that may be listening interested in starting a food truck or a similar type of trailer industry, what resources and tips do you have for individuals that may be interested in that type of business?
Facebook groups are very helpful. there's always somebody there that's willing to give you advice when needed, or if you have questions or anything like that, there's always somebody there to help answer those questions or even answer ones that you might not have even thought of. So a lot of Facebook groups are very helpful, or even just going up to someone that owns a food truck or anything like that. They're all, it's like one big family. They want you to succeed. So don't be afraid to go up and ask them questions. They're there to help you get there.
Yeah, everybody's done the struggle, and recently we've made pretty good friends with another local food truck owner. He owns a Little of Everything truck. His name's Ben McNaughton. He's another one who'd be good to have on your show. He's very solid dude, but he's given us some pretty sound advice recently that we've been trying to grab onto, and so let's say collect mentors. That maybe add on to that, and it's not just having the one mentor, keep collecting them, and people that are looking to dive into the same field, I would encourage them to come talk to us. It's funny enough, we've had two or three other coffee trailers, so people who were literally planning to be direct competition here in Eagle Mountain with us, and come and just start asking questions. And some of them were a little shy at first to, really say what they're doing, and others were like, "Hey, listen, I'm looking to do this here too. Any advice?" And we're like, "Golly, yeah, lots." Like,
Yeah.
We'll tell you everything that we know. That way, you know what you're getting into, because it's it's scary, it's terrifying, it's expensive. There's a lot to it, but in the end, we really don't regret it. It's a matter of if you have that drive and if you've got that focus, and really if you've got the opportunity to, it's something to jump on. So it's exciting, but yeah, like she said, I say go out and talk to everybody that you can. Fill your brain with every bit of information that you can fit in there, and collect mentors. Keep going at it.
Okay, great. No, that's fantastic advice. And so, moving forward for you guys, what does the future look like for Holy Grounds Coffee? Do you have plans to, obviously continue to grow, expand? What does that look like for your future and the goals for your brand and company?
Man, I always feel bad because I'm always the one talking, but I gotta remind myself she doesn't. So right now, short-term goals, we are actually going to be relocating next month. So starting in December, we'll be shifting from the Gotta Dance location, and there's a new development that's been built over in the Ranches area. It's kind of near the Chevron. It's a development by Scott Hazard. A lot of people are already familiar with food trucks being over there, but as part of this new development, there's going to be a few food truck pads. And so initially, the goal, we're going to go there, get people to really recognize us in that area and being in the Ranches again, because that's definitely a place where we feel like we thrived pretty well when we were able to be there. And long term, we're going to be working with that same developer, Scott Hazard, and aiming to do an actual drive-through location. So we've sat down, had initial meetings with them. It's now just kind of figuring out those dollars and cents, locking in some good history so we can get the financing that we need, and then next year they'll break ground on a very potential drive-through building for us. So we're looking to be set up and have a permanent location that's brick mortar, a whole 9 yards here in Eagle Mountain, and finally be able to establish ourselves as like, hey, we are the local coffee shop here, and we're here to stay. And so from there, it's just grow where we can, see what we can do. But right now, our initial goal is to just be able to fulfill the need in the community and provide that service to the community that we've been wanting to from the beginning. So get
That's
established
amazing.
in Eagle Mountain.
That's super cool. The Eagle Mountain Coffee Shop, Holy Grounds. I love it. That's super exciting. Obviously, the development stages, the financing behind that is super tricky, especially with getting into those bigger ventures like a drive-through. But you're doing something right if that's the trajectory you're on, which is really, really exciting. And so with that being said, obviously you're located in Eagle Mountain, Utah. Do you have bigger plans to go large across the entire United States, or do you want to keep it local to be more of a local company? what are your hopes and dreams if you could ask for anything for your company?
Man, I mean, we're not necessarily think big or think small type people right now. We just try to focus on what our next goal is. So I'd say with our next goal in mind is just growing here. That's the big one for right now. But I definitely see us working our best to expand throughout Utah Valley and growing here, and hopefully from there be able to take our brand elsewhere. And we would like to branch out. I don't know if New York is looking for a Holy Grounds coffee sitting in their backyard, but we'll see where we go from here. But right now the big goal is to establish Utah and or at least northern Utah and just kind of create something that's going to last for us and our family. We're not looking to be millionaires by any means. We're just looking to share passion.
No, that's exciting. So if you were to tell those that are listening or in Eagle Mountain to experience your brand and your coffee, what is your favorite flavors or recommendations for them to come out and try and experience?
Oh man, okay. Well, when it comes to the coffees, my favorite is the Boondock Saint. It's an awesome latte. Irish cream, white chocolate, hazelnut. It's solid. If you're looking at our Monster Energy and lemonades, the Caribbean Breeze, I like to brag about that one a lot because that's one of the only menu items that I actually created, and so I get to really poke at that a little bit because I feel it's the best. But it really is my favorite. It's a guava, pineapple, and strawberry mixed with either lemonade or Monster. You can choose that.
Cool.
And then seasonally right now, the Snowball hot chocolate. Oh my gosh, I just barely finished drinking another one. She made it kind of on a whim one day, and that's how she comes up with a lot of our stuff. She just kind of goes, oh, I bet this and this and this will work, and then it slaps. It's really good.
Yeah.
But Snowball hot chocolate is fantastic. It's white chocolate, toasted marshmallow, and winter mint. It's really, really, really good and addicting, so I encourage everyone for that one. For her, man, her favorites change all the time, so I'll let her tell you that.
I don't really have a favorite. It really just depends on my mood. But I will say the number one drink that I came up with is the Sunday morning. It's been probably the most popular, and it was kind of my first inspirational drink that I made. So I'll probably say Sunday morning. That's a hazelnut, salted caramel, and a halo.
Halo's what we call our whipped sweet cream foam that we put on top of drinks and stuff. And it's a great accent for any drink, but that one actually comes with it, so it's solid.
Man, these are some bougie coffee drinks. This is what I'm talking about. I love it. That's
know
awesome.
So we had a customer say, "You guys are a very bougie shop," and I looked at Ashley like, "Am I offended? I don't know." I don't know. Afterwards, I guess I'm getting older than I thought, but
yeah, no, that's amazing. Well, I'm excited for people to experience your brand and your company. It sounds like you're doing fantastic things, lots of growth coming around the corner for us, and Eagle Mountain in general. It's fantastic that there's local businesses growing and expanding and trying to give back to the community in a fantastic way. And so with that being said, any last tips or thoughts on being an entrepreneur and what it's like on a day-to-day basis when you wake up and know, hey, today I work for myself? What is that like for you guys?
I mean, honestly, I think it's amazing. It's a little bit easier to get up in the morning, and it's funny because I've never been a morning person, and now I've got to be up, 4:30 in the morning or so to start getting ready for the day to prep. But I do find it easier because you really are. You're working to build something for yourself, for your family, for your kids, hopefully establishing something for everyone's future. And so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of excitement, and I enjoy the heck out of it. But what do you think?
Yeah, even our kids love coming to work with us sometimes and creating their own little drinks. And
yeah, we actually have a couple kids drinks that are our kids' creations, and so it's pretty cool.
Wow,
We're
that's amazing.
hoping that something help, that's something they're going to dive into as well. Our oldest daughter is autistic, so we have a very big passion for being around and helping out with the autistic community. And there's a lot of repetition in drink building, and repetition's kind of good for her. And so she loves to be part of it and show up. And we just kind of hope that it's something we can build that she'll be interested in, and be able to offer some opportunities there for both of our kids. And it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Well, that is definitely something I'm passionate about, is seeing people with these type of businesses giving back to the community to help their children's futures and show them that hard work pays off and that you can do hard things and that life can be incredible when you put yourself out there and just really give it your best shot. And so it's really cool you're involving your kids, and for anyone that's listening, it's very obvious that you care and are passionate about what you're doing. You love what you're doing. You want to share it with others. And so I genuinely appreciate you coming on my podcast and sharing what you love and talking about your business. And for all of those that are interested, definitely go check them out. Go check out Holy Grounds here in Eagle Mountain. I'm going to be there. I definitely want to experience it with you all. And for those that live locally to Eagle Mountain, if you are interested and want to give back to Holy Grounds, I would love to personally set up a fund to donate to a autistic charity for Holy Grounds. That way we can band together as a community and do something cool as an Eagle Mountain community to give back to others. And so reach out to me. We're going to be planning something special, and we're excited for the future. So thank you so much for coming on, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.